Okay guys, welcome to the second part of this video. Sorry I had to break it into two parts, that wasn't the original plan. But when I'm talking about a story that spans over like a decade of my life, over a decade actually, it's gonna take some time and I want to do it the right way, the way I want to do it. Alright, so anyway, let's get on to part two. Awkward cut to me talking about something else. So anyway, I think actually my sophomore year of college, I, for the record, have always been a meat eater until now. Meat eater, that sounds so derogatory. I ate meat, dairy products, animal products, whatever. I didn't restrict any of that stuff. I thought it was a healthy part of the diet, human diet. And, you know, I grew up in Texas, so meat and eating meat is very much a part of the culture. And so it was just very normal to me. And as I started to really get into watching YouTube in college, and I stopped watching so many beauty videos, I stopped caring so much about makeup, which is what I loved when I was younger. And when I was 16, I started wearing makeup and I was just crazy about it. So I would just watch all these beauty videos. Then by the time I got in college, I wanted to watch food videos, so that's what I kind of transitioned into, and that was my entertainment. The strange thing that's funny is that I find in the YouTube scene, YouTube world, most things that come up if you're looking for healthy eating are vegan channels. And so that's what I was watching, and I would be inspired by their recipes. I would like the stuff they cooked, but I would like add meat to it or something. And I was kind of at that point doing like a high protein, low carb diet, and that was mostly what I was doing throughout my weight loss. So lots of lean meats, low grains, like almost no grains. And just a lot of vegetables, not that much fruit. So typical high protein, low fat, low everything basically, but protein and vegetables. And so anyway, I was still following that up until a couple months ago, and but in my sophomore year of college, I thought, I want to see if what all the vegans say is true. I was at the time watching like very sensational YouTubers that I don't usually watch them anymore, and I won't say who they are, but they tout these very specific, very interesting niche diets, I'll say. Like the normal person would not go on this diet, like maybe raw vegan, high carb, low fat, you know, it was like very exclusive, and the people I was watching were making big claims about how, you know, they had all this acne before, and they were overweight, and then they went vegan, and now they have no acne, they haven't gotten sick in 3 years, and like all these health claims and these ridiculous things. Not ridiculous, okay, so this was real for them. I was just like, this is crazy. And they would just, you know, throw out all these things that they had gone through in their lives and how they got to where they are now. And so I was like, I want to see what is going to happen if I go on a vegan diet. I tried it for a month, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't really strict about it. Like, I would have some dairy sometimes, but mostly it was a vegan diet. Okay, so it was mostly vegan. And I think, first off, I didn't do it right, and also I was really overloaded. I was so concerned about protein that I would eat like a lot of beans for lunch and dinner. I was just really overloading my system with fiber-rich foods that were harder to digest than the diet I was eating before. At least for me in that transition. And so I started to get a lot of digestional discomfort. I didn't see any improvement in my acne, and I was just like, this is a bunch of baloney. And I started to just be so uncomfortable to the point where I'd get stomach pain, actually. I was just not listening to my body. I was like, well, this is the vegan diet I need to eat and what other people are eating, except I want to eat higher protein, so that's just the way I'm going to do it. And I gave it just a couple of weeks and my system did not seem to agree with it, and so I went back to the way I was eating and I felt fine. And I kind of thought, the vegan diet just isn't for my body because it made my stomach hurt and I was bloated. I couldn't digest all that stuff, so it's not for me and it's not healthy. And there was that. So fast forward like 2 years later or whatever, this year when I came to Oklahoma City Ballet, I made a wonderful friend named Lori, who's been on my channel before. Hey Lori, I know she watches all my videos, so gotta give her a shout out. And she's been such a great friend to me, and she's been a vegan for several years, and I was interested again. I was getting even more into nutrition and like food theory, all this stuff, and I felt like I was open again to learning new things about food and trying a new diet that was very different than the way I was eating. And unlike the first time I tried being vegan, this time I was really immersing myself in the ethical reasons for the diet and the lifestyle. And making that connection and realizing that I can change my diet because of things that I believe and not the way I want to look, or actual solid evidence based on scholarly research, scholarly articles, intense research that is peer reviewed, all these things that advocate for a vegan diet. I was interested in this, and I've always considered myself to be an environmentalist, and so when I started to watch all these documentaries like Cowspiracy, things like that, I started to realize that I really don't think I can live with myself and call myself an environmentalist, like a true one, by just recycling alone and doing things like that, saving energy. A lot of this has to do with my diet and what I'm eating. That really has an enormous impact on the earth. And I started to understand that what I give my dollars to, my money to, is what I'm advocating for. And my biggest expenditure is on food. So if I was giving all this money to the meat and dairy industries, things that I was not really feeling great about supporting anymore, what kind of advocate and environmentalist was I going to be, you know? How can I justify that? So I started to learn more. I opened myself up more to why I might want to choose this lifestyle. And long story short, I just found so much purpose in it and fulfillment in knowing that I was doing one more thing in my life to be my best. And it was beyond just the health, beyond what I looked like, but I could connect to food in a way that enhances my values as a person, as a compassionate person, as a person who wants to do better for myself, for the people around me, and for the living beings around me, for my children in the future if I have kids and grandkids, and other people's children, you know, just the next generation. I want them to have an earth to live on that is acceptable and not completely destroyed by the habits of my generation. And so as I was trying to also be interested and engaged with finding the healthiest diet for my body, I started to open myself up to, again, to try veganism. And this time I did it and it stuck. Since January of this year, I have not eaten meat, save 2 times. I think in the beginnings, I was definitely just vegetarian. As you could see in my What I Eat in a Day video that has been popular, I really need to make another one because at that point I was just vegetarian but aspiring towards veganism. But one thing I've learned is that the slow, thorough transition has been everything in my success. And if I had tried to just throw it all out at once and completely change my habits, I would have had a similar end result to my college days. So I've really made these changes gradually. Now I'm 100% vegan at home, and I try to be vegan when I go out to eat, but it's still so hard. Like a couple days ago, I ordered a drink at a restaurant and it came with foam on top, and then the waiter said that it was egg white foam, and I was like, ugh! Like, the dinner starts and I'd already messed up. But I believe in having grace for myself, being patient, and just continually trying to do my best, and my best is good enough. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm almost entirely vegan, and I'm very happy with that, very happy about it, and proud of myself, and excited to move forward because now I feel connected to food in a really positive way. I found greater levels of health, awareness of the nutrition in my food, what my diet can really do for me to nourish me and not to just make me look the way I want to look. And it's also playing into my advocacy and my system of beliefs as a person. So I feel very happy with where I'm at right now, and I'm proud of it. And the journey has been long and hard and really all over the place, but I wanted to share it with you because some of you might be curious, some of you might be looking for inspiration or just some real talk. I don't know the reason why you want to watch this, also because it's very long, but I wanted to put it out there just because I think there's really a lot of value in one human just being open about the stuff that we don't often think to talk about or take the time to talk about, or if you're curious, you're often too embarrassed to ask about if you want to relate to a person in this way or know more about their health journey. I also just want to say that I'm really happy with where my body is at. Generally right now, I mean, we haven't started our season yet, and so I definitely could get in a little bit better shape. Our season starts next week, but definitely once I start dancing, I think there are going to be no problems at all. And I don't look at myself as having problems right now. I just could be in a little bit better shape, though throughout my injury recovery, I am super proud of myself for the shape that I'm in and how I've been able to mostly maintain my physical condition. So that's awesome. But generally, in the times when I've been dancing throughout this time of trying veganism and all that, I am really proud of my physical condition. I think I've really come into my adult body, which is something I haven't emphasized as much as I want to in this video, or wanted to. One thing that I want to say for anybody who, especially young girls who are going to be going through this transition, your body does change. In your late teens and early 20s, you will be transitioning to your adult body. Almost everyone goes through a change where your musculature might increase, your muscle tone, and that might be great. You might be not happy about that. You might get hips out of nowhere. You might have more fat than you did before. This changes, but know that in the awkward transition, it's almost like you go through puberty twice, and people don't really talk about this, which kind of annoys me, but I've seen it in people that I'm close to. Almost everyone kind of goes through this phase where they might just not be at their ideal weight. Maybe they're too thin, maybe they're bigger than they want to be, but it's like your body kind of spazzes out for a bit and goes through that 12-13-year-old phase all over again of transitioning, and you're just like, is this how I'm going to be forever? And then it turns out fine in the end. But anyway, I'm happy with where I'm at now. I have more muscle tone than I ever have, and I'm really proud of that, happy with it. And yeah, I don't struggle with my body image anymore, and I'm so thankful for that. And I really think it's because I know how to take care of myself, and I've learned how to connect to food in a positive way. And it's changed my life. So that's my story. I do hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for sticking through till the end if you did, and let me know what you have to say about this and where you're at in your diet right now, and if you're looking for help. Yes, because I'm all about creating a supportive community on this channel and within my subscriber group, so let's continue that and let's be kind to each other. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.